Alright guys, so I'm going to teach you how to skin a chipmunk so you can put it on your wall. I have done this with a squirrel hide. I'm not done with a chipmunk hide yet. Fun fact, it was the first chipmunk that I ever shot actually. So let me just get it out of this bag here. It's actually triple bagged because my mom likes clean this. So I put it in the freezer, triple bagged. I think I did triple bag it. 10 years later. I shot a chipmunk on Sunday. It's Wednesday now. So it should be good. I let it thaw out for a little bit because it's in the freezer most of that time. Hopefully it's not rock solid. Oh, it's a little solid here, sadly. It's not really how you want them but yeah, there it is. It actually does look like a really nice coat once you have it the coat going. But pretty much what you want to do. Obviously it's easier to start this when you have shot it that day, because then it's like nice and versus this is like almost rock solid, which is kind of gross. But so what you're gonna want to do, I'm pretty sure you gotta start right to see about like right there. I'm gonna make a cut right here, just down to its just the pellet, remember. And then I'm not gonna involve the ears here. If you want to involve the ears, you can. It is a little bit harder because it does sometimes pull up stuff with it, but yeah, the hardest, I'd say honestly, one of the hardest parts is just getting this cut to the right length here. You do want a really sharp knife for this too. Okay, and then you can kind of see I made the incision right there. So now I'm just gonna try to take the skin and I'm just gonna pull it. And then if it's not coming up, I use my knife to cut the fat away. So now I got a little pocket in there, like that, of pelt. Then what you're gonna wanna do, you're gonna wanna put the ears back. So then you can make another incision right here, right behind the ear, so you can get as much of the pelt as possible, so it's as pretty as possible. And then you are gonna make another slit down here, and then you are gonna pull back and then make another slit on the other side for the other ear. So it should look like that once you have most of the pelt back. And then now pretty much you just pull it back and you just start cutting away that fat. It appears that I didn't cut right next to the ear hard enough down, so cut that a little better. Now I'm just gonna pull it back again. It is a little bit helpful though when you do have it frozen, because the skin does pull back a little bit easier, although it is a little bit harder to cut it to the right height, because obviously it's a little bit more challenging because it's frozen, you know. Well, it's been de-thawing for a little while, but anyways, now, so once I got it pulled back to right behind the ear, so you see there, it's pulled back to right behind the ear, which is right here. And then you're gonna make it so you make another cut. Here, I'll just make the cut and then I'll show you guys. All right, so I'm just gonna keep making that incision behind the ear. You almost kind of feel, oh, I made it a little deep there. It's fine. And it is fine if you make the cut a little bit deep, because you can always just, okay, it doesn't matter. If all you want is the pelt, it doesn't matter. So you're gonna want to make the other incision right there. Oops, wrong way. All right, so right behind the ear, you can make it right there, and then you're just gonna pull back on the skin, and you're gonna start cutting away at its shoulder a little bit, just so I can see what's going on here. And then I'm gonna cut it a little bit deeper down to its arm. This part is optional if you want the arm. I think it looks cool with the head and the arm. Again, if you don't want the head, you don't have to have the head. If you don't want the arms, you don't have to have the arms. Obviously, just the pelt. But I think it's pretty cool with the head, just so, you know, you can kind of see the whole squirrel or chipmunk, whatever you're doing. Basically the same process for everything. Anyways, you're gonna make another little incision right down its arm here. You're gonna try to follow the outline of its arm with your knife as you cut it. And then I'll make sure my incision is correct to the right depth by simply just pulling it and then cutting the skin away. I'll try to get you guys a better camera angle here so you can see. Alright, so then I simply pull the skin back. Hold on. Oh, I can't really get you guys to see it. Anyways, you just keep kind of pull the skin back and super lightly cut. You want to try to get obviously as least of the meat as possible along with the pelt. So then once you've gone down there, you're just going to want to make like an outline of the arm, and I'll show you what that looks like when I'm done here, guys. And then you're just going to want to make once you get down to about the forearm, you're just going to make an incision, because that's where you're going to want to stop, because then it gets really hard to get that pelt there. I don't know if you can actually get, and then I'm running into a bullet hole where I shot it. So you're just going to, if you run into a bullet hole, it will make it a little bit just red, the pelt, on the underside of it, unless it went all the way through. Obviously on the other side it'll be red too. I'm just trying to make the hardest part is making all the incisions. The easier part, or way easier part, is just pulling it firmly, cutting the fat away. It's never going to be perfect. Perfect as to not having any meat on the pelt. You're going to make some wrong cuts. Just don't get demotivated. It's always tough to start out. Again, this is my first time doing chipmunk, actually. Don't worry, I'm experienced with other squirrels and hides. And deer. Fun fact, actually. I got a 8-pointer deer on Sunday. Alright, so that's what it looks like with the... That's what it looks like with it down the arm. You're just going to want to try to go about that deep. And then I'm going to start making an incision about right here. Parallel with its shoulder. Almost a little bit under its main shoulder plate there. And I'm just gonna go all the way along. This is the one cut you do not want to be deep though, trust me. You do not want those guts spilling out on you. That is kind of gross. That is definitely the grossest part of doing a pelt. Or you can just, also, you can just base it off of the white underbelly. They normally have a white underbelly, so you can just do it off that line pretty much. Another thing I do have to say is it is a little bit less gross if it's was a little bit frozen, because it's a little bit more solid. So it's not as juicy, to say. In other words, it's less juicy. And then you're just going to finish that incision. So it's going to be an incision all the way along the belly up to the thigh. And you're going to stop when you get to the thigh. And then, once I've done this, I'm just going to go about to its spine and cut the meat back, or the fat back, not the meat, the fat. Just like so. And you want at least, okay. And then that side is going to look just like that. And then it's bald on top. So that. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing for the other side. So I'll do a little skippage here. Alright guys, now with the hide pulled back, the chipmunk should look something like this. Got both sides of it, and then here's the pelt so far. It's pretty nice. Now I just gotta finish up this back portion. Alright, this part actually, you might think it's a little bit gross, but it's not. The back part, it's just as bad as the front part. It's honestly not that bad, especially as it's frozen. Personally for me, it's not that gross at all, really. Pretty not gross. The only other thing I think is gross is if I were to get sick from any of this. And then, so you should have made your incision from the belly like that, sideways, and then you're gonna want to go down the thigh, starting right here. You're gonna want to go down the thigh, and then just cut the shape of the thigh out. So I'll show you guys that on one side. And then again, you're gonna want to make your cut about right here is to where you're gonna, oh, sorry. It's right there. That's where you're gonna want to stop the pelt going down the thigh. Just make that one pretty deep, just so you know exactly where it is. And then just finish up going down there. Just keep tracing the thigh. That's pretty much all you have to do. Not too much skill to it. Just go down the thigh, trace the shape of it. some parts it will look a little bit rough, like, yeah, I'm not doing the right thing, but it's fine. It'll work out as long as you just get the meat away when you're done. It's less important to get all the meat off it right away than it is to make the right cuts, because if you don't make the right cuts, you can't redo that unless you make it too large. You can redo it to make it smaller, obviously, but yeah. And then once you've gotten down to the leg thigh area, you're gonna want to just go back up, cut right up at the tail. You're gonna want to go up a little bit higher just so you don't get any of that poop or anything, or butt stuff. Ooh, a little bit of blood. That's fine though. Just wipe it off on the board. It's almost like a table at this point. The sharper the knife, the better. Obviously, not the better for cutting yourself. Just don't cut yourself. Most important thing, guys, just stay safe. Alright, that is what it looks like one side fully done. Like that. Now, I'm just gonna do the other side. Alright guys, I have gotten both sides fully skinned, as you can see. Now you're gonna be at the tail, okay? What you're gonna wanna do, you're gonna wanna just, got this guy spinning on me, jeepers. You're just gonna wanna make a cut going sideways down it. Hold on, I'll show you. You're just gonna wanna make a cut on each side because you're just gonna want the back. You know what? Screw it. Once you get here, get a firm grip on this thing. Just pull. Tail isn't that essential. If you want it, it takes a little bit longer to get, and it's kind of irritating, but is it the tail of the head? That's the tail, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Where did the head go? Oh, that is the head, I guess. Okay. Alright guys, here's the final result. I hope this video helped you guys out. It's actually pretty easy to do. But yeah, there it is. Again, if you want the tail, still on here, obviously. If you want the tail, you're just gonna have to put in a little bit more time. It's probably gonna take about 10 minutes to get that tail off. Unless you're a pro, it'll take you about two minutes, because I'm not a pro. Yeah, there it is. And then what you guys are gonna want to do now, you're just gonna want to make sure there's no meat on here. Zero meat, zero fat. Zero meat, zero fat. That's the goal. Yeah, so you're gonna want to make sure it's fully spread out. I take little nails, I nail it down, just so I can carve away that meat off. But yeah, I'm just gonna leave this to sit here for a little bit. Just gonna try to spread it out and show you guys real quick. Right there it is. There's the chipmunk head. Obviously, it is not facing the right way, or the pretty way. But yeah, hope this video helped you guys out. Not too gross, actually. My hands aren't too bad. As you can see, it's just a little bit of blood and a little bit of fur. But yeah, hope this video helped you guys out. Hopefully you guys weren't too grossed out. And yeah, see you guys next time.